If she's accomplished anything, it was only for her and herself, or him or himself, or they, whatever, you know.
Subscribe to this channel. In case you are watching this channel and have not subscribed.
One time on television, I was castigated by a debate opponent as skinny boy.
Relax, skinny boy. I got this.
That was skinny phobia back then. There's a much greater, larger scourge today. That would be, of course, fat phobia. And the fine people of TikTok have taken to spreading the word about this terrible malady.
Now that I have your attention with that video, I would like to play a game of Spot the Difference. The video you just saw versus...
I wonder what the retention went whenever it switched to her face. There's not... That you had a plummet.
this one that I'm about to show you a screenshot of. In this video, she's doing the same exact trend. What's the difference?
You and I both. It's a lot harder.
Both wearing shorts. What's the difference? You know the difference.
I don't want to...
I know the difference.
I don't want to have to... You can't make me say that. It's not polite.
Want to tell me why I was shown this notification? I was scrolling through my For You page and I came across that video. Do you think this video is appropriate for younger users 13 to 17? Yes, I do. Not showing them that video and showing them this notification is inappropriate. You're telling them that their bodies, if they're larger, are inherently sexual and inappropriate. That's the harmful message. Stop it with this fat phobia. I am so tired of this app shaming large bodies. I'm done. This is stupid.
Is that why my shit be getting blocked? Because I've never seen... I don't scroll on TikTok, so I guess that's just something that pops up whenever you're scrolling. That's probably why my shit gets blocked. But I think both of them motherfucking videos should have a not suitable for 13 to 17 year olds. I mean, I guess they're clothed and shit, but that's not really... I don't know. Because it's like, it's sexual and it's something that a little kid could get off to, but then again, it's really not that sexual. But I don't know. I just know me as a girl, I wouldn't want to post that because I know that little boys are going to be getting off to me. But women just pretend like they don't care about that. They only care if they see it. They act like what the creep on the other side of the phone that saves it to their folder and uses it for whatever pleasure they want. Doesn't matter. But if you're in the gym and you are walking through and you glance at them, it's like, whoa, World War III. Someone called the cops on this guy. Get the SWAT down here. Send his ass to prison. He looked at me. But yeah, they'll post this shit on TikTok for little boys to get off to, which is weird as shit.
The notification is not saying that the video is inappropriate.
Or grown-ass men that are just creepy.
The notification is asking if you think this video is inappropriate. And then presumably if enough people say that it's inappropriate, then they'll restrict the video, but the video is not restricted. Frankly, on these apps, plenty of that content should be banned and restricted, certainly for younger people. But that's not really the point, right? She really shifts here at the end, and she says, you know, it's outrageous. They're targeting this larger person. But what's the difference? What's the difference? You know what the difference is. And it's impolite to note the difference, but yeah, different things are different. Derek Jeter gets up to the plate, takes a swing at a fastball. It's going to look a certain way. People are probably going to want to watch that. He's a really good athlete. If I step up to the plate, even an Adonis like me, and I take a swing at that fastball, I'm not going to hit it.
But I ticked it. It hit the bat.
You're still out.
You're still fat.
It's not going to be...
Man, I wish I could edit like that, dog. His editors, not Candace Owens, his editors, Brett Cooper's editors, Matt Walsh's editors, and Ben Shapiro's editors. Those ones, they be having memes on deck.
Quite as interesting to watch, okay? We'd both be swinging the bat. We'd both have the fastball, but we're different. We look different. Our bodies are a little bit different, and people would be more or less inclined to watch us in a physical feat. That is very true. I love how her conclusion, though, is that, no, we need to especially have the larger person be presented to little children. How about, what if we just restrict the scintillating content for everybody, for all of it?
When it's the larger people.
When it's the skinnier people.
When it's even skinnier boys like me. Okay, next one.
How do I deal with feeling fat-shamed at doctor's appointments?
So I get this question a lot. And first of all, I'm sorry. This really shouldn't happen. Unfortunately, it does. So let's talk about how to navigate it and get you more out of your doctor's appointments. My advice to you...
I do not want a politically correct doctor. I want a doctor that tells me what the fuck is wrong. I want a doctor that is blunt about what I need to fix. I don't want him tiptoeing around it to make sure I don't have a mental breakdown. If I'm about to die because I am doing something wrong, I want you to tell me that. I don't want you to say, well, just if you continue on with this lifestyle, you might not really, it will work for a while, but eventually you might need to slow down on it, or else you really won't have a life to work with. And just you're going to die if you don't do this. Like, break it down to me like that.
You is put yourself in the driver's seat. You dictate to your provider what you do and do not want to talk about at the start of your visit. Try something like this. Hi, nice to see you. I'm here today for UTI. I'm aware that I'm overweight. I'm not really here to talk about that today, and I would appreciate it if we could just focus on the reason that I came in. If you're there for routine checkup, expect to talk about your weight. It's a part of it, but bring it up yourself. Let them know what your goals are for your weight. I'll do another post about my approach to talking about weight with patients. It doesn't have to be judgy or shameful.
Judgy.
Are doctors allowed to wear earrings? I thought that you weren't supposed to really have tattoos or piercings if you was, in those types of fields.
That's a clinical term that people learn in medical school. I don't really go to doctors very much, but sometimes Elisa does make me go, and I can't wait to walk in next time. Hey, doc, how's it going? I know it's been a while. Look, I don't want to talk about the cigars, and I don't want to talk about the booze, and I don't want to talk about the fatty Italian meats. Yeah, I don't want to talk about any of that. So other than that, how's my health? They'll say, well, I don't know, other than all the problems, I guess your health is fine. Great, can't wait to tell my wife that. Thanks, doc. Where do I make my copay? That's just what I came here for. That's why you go to a doctor, is to be told everything you want to hear. If you were talking about problems, he might diagnose something. And that's not what you do at a doctor's office. Right now, head on over to genucell.com/package with...
Being body positive is not an excuse to neglect your health.
Yeah.
I've seen other people stitch your video, and they were much nicer to you than I'm going to be. You have no idea who I am, so let me introduce myself. I am an exercise physiologist, which means I hold a degree in this field, a certification in this field, and have been a professional in this.
Did she say she's an exorcist physiologist? What did she say?
I am an exercise physiologist, which means I hold a degree in this field, a certification in this field, and have been a professional.
Exercise physiologist, maybe? Maybe. Okay.
In fact, one of my jobs was actually managing a gym where I hired, trained, and fired personal trainers just like you. And I mean that literally. You're not special. A thin, white, young, able-bodied personal trainer is quite literally a dime a dozen, especially ones with such spicy...
Literally. There are literally markets that price you at 10 cents per dozen of you. Literally. I learned that in exorcism physiology school. Okay? And you know what? I'm not going to be nice to you or pleasant at all. So there. You don't...
Actually, I'm going to demean you and make you feel stupid and worthless. That's what I'm going to do.
You don't know me, so I'll introduce myself. She says, into the void. It's just a woman venting her anger at the world, screaming up at the sky. I'm an exercising physiologist. I hate reality. Keep going.
Takes like...
I swear it's people like that. I don't know if y'all get on Twitter that much, but there's this meme going around of all the healthcare providers in the US, Canada, France, and Germany, I think, where they're all just obese people, and they're supposed to be the ones that care about your health. I think people that get into these fields feel like they can just either not care about their health or use it as a coping mechanism to where they can say like they are healthy because they know what health is. So you don't talk about how big I am because I know what health is. You don't know what health is. I just don't see why it's always the people that are in these fields that are the most unhealthy looking or just physically.
Like fat, bad, unhealthy. You need lose weight with exercise, me make you. And a significant misunderstanding of body positivity on top of it. I need you to start wrapping your head around the idea that people can pursue fitness without a weight loss goal, including fat people. Your attitude and approach is exactly what keeps a lot of people away from fitness. Good luck on your exam.
I don't know what has happened in this woman's life. Put aside the fat thing or whatever for a second, the phobias. If you find yourself with this attitude, just stop. Stop whatever you're doing. Go seek help. Turn inward. Think about what has gone wrong in your life to give you this demeanor all the time, to just be on edge and you're just ready to go start screaming about it and insulting all these strangers. And this is my health advice. I am not a physiologist, I do not exercise, and I do not perform exorcisms. But my health advice to you would be, calm down. If you're going to do anything with TikTok, that's what I would recommend.
I had to cut that a little. It's like 10 seconds. I had to cut it out. I'm not trying to get my shit fucking, what's it called? Copyrighted.
And you do. Okay, next one.
When are we going to stop allowing skinny people to claim they have body dysmorphia so they can be aggressively fat-phobic as Because I'm so tired. The argument's worn out. People are allowed to be insecure. She's not fat-phobic. She has body dysmorphia. The body positivity movement was made for all bodies. First of all, let's shift the conversation to body neutrality.
Can you put a pause
Second
there?
of all,
the voices that she's sort of mocking as being tedious or cliche, who says that? Where do these conversations take place? And take place so frequently that they could become cliche and tedious that this woman would mock them.
Oh, you know, man, you know, every day, all we hear is
body dysmorphia is a form of the body positivity movement, and that's why we need to stop accusing them of being fat-phobic.
It's like, blah, blah, blah. I hear it left, I hear it right, don't you?
I don't know what a number of those terms even really mean. What communities is this woman living in? She's saying that the skinny people who have
the fucking body positivity movement,
body problems, should not be given any sympathy because we should reserve all of the sympathy for the fat people with body problems. I guess. Keep going.
Which is really ironic because unless you just built weird, she looked like she isn't big.
Sure, movements
are
created for oppressed and marginalized people. You know, fat bodies, disabled bodies, trans bodies, people of color bodies, those bodies. And I highly doubt every fat-phobic piece of shit has a disorder. Also, no one said disorders can't be problematic. Matter of fact, a lot are. So maybe, instead of using that as a defense mechanism to deflect the blame, try and unlearn it.
I get a kick.
I can't, like, bro. I know this is gonna be rude, but I want to smack the fuck out of her. Like, she didn't look like someone that should just be smacked the fuck around, bro. Like, oh, that face is just so annoying. Oh, bro, like I would never, but I just, there's some type of urge, just like someone needs to smack this bitch. What in the hell? Like, she just looks so entitled, and she looks like she has accomplished nothing in her fucking life. If she's accomplished anything, it was only for her and herself, or him or himself, or they, whatever. You know, they have not accomplished anything for others, at least from my judgment.
Out of her a lot. She reminds me of this gal who also had a nose ring right in the center of her nose, who made a whole video with the same attitude, making fun of me. And she also used profane and vulgar language in exactly the same way. Like,
are you so effing dumb?
They're almost like the same person. They almost certainly run in the same kind of ideological circles, and they're both funny. This is really a great glimpse into an entire community that I just don't spend any time in.
Can you teach me a speaker like you?
Communities are defined in no small part by language, because language is the stuff of our consciousness. It not only colors, but in some ways constitutes the way that we view the world. And so that's why the libs are always so intent on making us use their crazy language, is to transform not only what we can say, but what we can even think, and set the limits of what we can think. And this is why they establish taboos and standards as well.
Luca! Bueno? Pinu! Bueno? Pinu!
And here, the concepts, the taboos, the standards certainly, but even just the concepts that she's talking about are just foreign to my understanding of the world. That was delightful. Do we have any more?
But these words, the crazy thing is that these words aren't even just stuff that like a community makes up. This is stuff that teachers that are in the Ivy League schools teach their students. This is why there's so many professionals that use this terminology that makes it seem like they know what they're talking about, when in reality it's just made up words for made up things. Whenever they're just mental illnesses, they are not things that need to be embraced or encouraged or, you know, uplifted. They are things that need to be recognized and treated. nothing else. But yeah, they made these terminologies and made it seem like, oh no, it's normal. Don't worry about them. They just don't understand it. They aren't on the same wavelength as us. They're not as educated as us. They don't know anything. And then they feel superior and they feel like they can say whatever the fuck they want, even though whenever someone tells them that they are wrong, they just think in their head that that motherfucker's a dummy. He's a bigot. He's a racist. He's a transphobe, a fatphobe. He's a... Then they even made names to insult anyone that counters them. It's crazy as shit to me, man, that this shit is being taught in colleges. People are spending salaries a year to go to colleges that teach them this shit that benefits them not at all.
Just dawned on me how many people don't understand how rarely fat people actually receive evidence-based medicine from doctors. One time, I went in for an ear infection and the doctor told me to lose weight. You know what thin people get? Antibiotics. One time, I found a lump.
Did she not also get antibiotics?
Appointment to get a cancer screening. It was at an OBGYN, and as soon as the doctor walked in, he didn't look at me, he didn't introduce himself, he looked at my chart and he said, "You'd have an easier time getting pregnant if you lost weight."
That's the type of doctor I want.
Told him, "I'm not here for fertility treatment, I'm here for a cancer screening." And he said, "Oh, okay," and started the appointment, never said sorry. And I would need to make a 20-part series for the saga I went through last year when I needed spinal surgery for a lifelong spinal defect that had nothing to do with my weight. And this is the norm. It's typical for this to happen.
It's the norm because there are norms. And so when you fall outside of the norm and then you go see a physician whose job it is to encourage you to get a little bit closer to the norm, they will point that out to you. And then you will be upset. You say, "How dare you suggest that there are norms and that it is normal to be nearer to the norms? Why would you do that? You're a physician. You should just tell me whatever I want to hear. And I'm not going to tell you what I want to hear. You need to guess it. And if you guess it wrong, I hate you. And I'm going to make a TikTok about how much I don't like you." My favorite one by far was the black lady with the nose ring. She had the funniest vibe and the most delightful diction. She also wasn't fat, right?
Right.
I mean, you could only see her from the neck up. She looked very skinny, which adds even more complexity and richness to her TikTok. See you next time, folks.
I think that last girl, I don't know what color her hair was. I'm colorblind, but you know, the last person that we just showed, not the black girl. I think she just wanted to do it to flex all her surgeries. I think she just wanted to flex how hard she has it. You know, just that victim mind state of, I have it really bad. Please pity me. Please give me sympathy. Please give me something, some type of attention or some type of affirmation, something. Please give me something. I had surgery in my spine. I thought I had cancer and someone called me fat. There was no other reason why she needed to give the exact scenarios unless she just wanted to flex that she has medical problems. But that's going to be the end of that video. Please leave a like. If you guys got anything to say about the video, let me know down below. You know I read every single comment. And if you fuck with your boy, will you please give me a subscription? With that said, deuces.
They tell you I ain't never been played by a bitch, so I know they know what you saying is phony.
Ever since I bagged you, my bag got different. I've been flipping grands while you on the grand tripping. Ever since some bitches with their own selfish intentions got up in your ear, that's when your ass started listening. And that's when we got distance. You was pissed off, I wanna frown up out the pissing. You didn't have no calls, I let you go to chase the vision.